Thank you, Christina. And it's it's a pleasure to be here today, and thank you to the RIU team led by Stuart and his team for putting this show on. There aren't many opportunities for us in small cap oil and gas land to show investors what we're doing, and we do actually really cherish this opportunity. Thank you also to David for his magnificent scene setting. I don't think I've seen a better summary of the state of play in our part of the world than David's a moment ago. So there'll be myself and a number of us that will just build on the summary that David's given you. So thank you again. In terms of Bass Oil, the tagline is we're an emerging Australian gas producer, and that's our focus. That's been our focus for a while, and we're moving towards that. But our slides aren't moving. Okay. We're an ASX-listed company with oil production in the Cooper Basin and in Indonesia. We're debt-free and we've got sustaining cash flow. And our team has been around a long time and created a lot of value for shareholders in the past with companies like Stewart Petroleum, Ambassador Oil and Gas, Beach Energy and the like. We've built a balanced portfolio of oil and gas properties. Oil will always form a part of our portfolio. It's a high margin business if you can grow on it. And we intend to do so, but the company's focus is clearly to start producing gas and gas into the East Coast gas market for reasons that David touched on earlier. And the lead on that is going to be through projects in our portfolio that are actually standing ready for production, need to be connected with the successful test of the liquids-rich gas field at Kiwi that we did late last year, and we recently added to the portfolio the Vanessa gas field. The Vanessa gas field has facilities and is right in the middle of our deep coal play, and I'll just show you how Vanessa fits into the portfolio in a moment. And unfortunately, we're probably in the laggard side of that graph that David put up, not for want of trying, but if I can actually encapsulate the message that David mentioned a moment ago, if you encapsulate it, if you think back to the great Wayne Gretzky, Wayne Gretzky was famous for saying that he skates to where the puck is going to be, not where the puck is. So, we're looking to capitalise on that kind of approach. Okay, the Vanessa acquisition that we announced a couple of months ago. In itself, it's actually a small gas field. There is a shut-in production well, processing equipment, and more importantly, a connection into the Cooper Basin joint venture gas distribution facility. So it's essentially requires recommissioning and can come back online. And I'll tell you why Vanessa is so strategically important to us. Here on this slide, you can see the first element of that is Vanessa is right in the middle of our PL 182 permit, and the opportunity that we have in 182 is the cross-hatched dusty pink area is the heart of the deep coal resource play in the Cooper Basin that is going to be probably the third cab off the rank in terms of resource plays in Australia that have the potential to turn around the fortunes of the gas market in Australia. There'll be more on that in a moment. But you can see that Vanessa is right in the heart of that play, and we acquired that facility and the well and the connection into the pipeline at no cost. We took on board the abandonment liability, which is a future liability. With the deal that we did, the vendor actually is also contributing a relatively high percentage of that abandonment liability. We've taken that opportunity on board, and that will probably be the first gas production we achieve, and I'll just show you the opportunity on that. It's got untested, conventional and tight gas potential, and it intersected the full Permian section in that Patchawarra Trough, including the coals, which is going to accelerate our evaluation of the potential of the deep coals, which is a company-making opportunity for ourselves, frankly, and others in the future in the Cooper Basin. Okay, here's a log section of the Vanessa well that was drilled some years ago, and you can actually see in the log section, you can see the lithology on the left-hand side. Low gamma ray is indicative of coal. The coals are shaded in black, and the sandstones are shaded in yellow, and you can actually see right through the section there's a pretty decent gas shows through that whole well. That well has only ever produced conventional gas from the conventional gas pay in the Epsilon formation, and this well was drilled by a Cooper Basin junior some years ago. If that well was drilled by Santos or drilled today, you would have fracked every last one of those zones. You'd probably have a 6-stage frack in there, right through Talachi, Epsilon and the Patchawarra formation. You'd probably frack at least 6 stages there, and then you'd commingle that onto production, and you'd end up probably producing something like 2.5–3 BCF at least from that well. That well's produced 1 BCF from the conventional pay in the Epsilon. So that's the exciting opportunity for us, is to actually get that facility, which is connected, the well that is present, get it recommissioned, get it recompleted and fracked, and get it online. But more importantly, we get some data in the coals. We'll be looking to get some data fracks, or DFITs as they call them in the industry, on the stress, to calibrate our mechanical earth model so that we can design high angle wells to attack this resource. Just to give you a snapshot, as I mentioned earlier, the Patchawarra Trough will end up being the 3rd resource play in Australia that's going to turn the needle, the first being the Beetaloo, the next being the Taroom, and you'll hear more about both of those today. And you won't hear too much about the Patchawarra Trough because there's only 2, well, really 3 companies that own the entire Patchawarra Trough across that oval that you can see on your screen. The 3 companies are Santos Beach in the Cooper Basin joint venture and BAS. And we own 100% of that central block in the middle of the Patchawarra Trough. When we did the first evaluation, there's telephone book numbers of gas that's available just in PL 182, but in terms of, if you recall back to that slide which showed the hashed pink section, that section has a prospective resource of over half a TCF by itself. The entire Patchawarra Trough has anywhere between 6+ TCF of gas potential if it's cracked. The majority of it's owned by the Cooper Basin joint venture. And just to put that into perspective, the Cooper Basin conventional gas production and reserves is around about 6 TCFs is probably a good number, that has been discovered since the basin came online in the 1960s. So the Patchawarra Trough has the potential to cause a renaissance in the Cooper Basin and produce as much gas into the future as it has in the last 50 or 60 years. And the other important thing that's happening here now too is the Cooper Basin joint venture is actually moving a rig onto the well side of one of their areas in the Patchawarra Trough, where they'll be drilling a high angle well attacking the deep coals in the trough and they're scheduled to, looks like it'll drill in October, and it looks like it'll frack in December, so we're watching closely Santos-led joint venture to the results there, because the Patchawarra Trough is the Patchawarra Trough all the way along. Any success that Santos has is immediately transferable to us. And when we believe we've got a prospective resource of a half TCF, that's very, very significant for a company like us. We are also working hard to commercialise Kiwi. Kiwi was a surprise. We produced 4 million cubic feet a day with nearly 1,000 barrels a day of condensate back late last year. The contingent resources there are 1 million BOE, and that's more than our entire reserve book. If we can get that thing FID sanctioned, that project will more than double our reserves, and the indicative value of that 1 million BOE is over $20 million, which is over 2 times our current market cap. The other thing that Kiwi did is it high-graded the Kiwi North prospect, which is a structural prospect to the north in that map, and we're pretty excited about the potential. We're reprocessing some 3D seismic there to see if we can actually get some amplitude anomalies that appear to be concordant with the Kiwi discovery, so work is progressing there. The other thing too is the Kiwi success actually did attract some interest from larger players that may be looking to farm in, so watch this space. So what's this year looking for? What's our focus? Our focus in this present period of time is to actually complete the Vanessa acquisition. We're doing the project planning for the recommissioning of Vanessa. And as I mentioned to you earlier, it's a fast track to evaluate the company making potential of the 182 coals. And in Kiwi, we're progressing that as well. And we've got multiple funding options that we're chasing down, including farm down of the Kiwi asset. And I didn't forget to mention too that because of the way the East Coast gas market is, it's no surprise to anyone that's got any gas potential that there are multiple gas buyers that have been calling on spec, looking to form partnerships to buy the gas, any gas that we may bring to market. Okay, final slide. So you don't have to kick me off the stage, Christine, but you may as well. Why invest in gas, in BAS? The current 2P reserves valuation of our reserve book, our oil reserve book, the market cap is less than half of our current 2P reserves. It doesn't reflect any value for the Vanessa acquisition, for the Kiwi project, or the deep coal assets. So our 2025 work program is all about realising and bringing to market and demonstrating to investors that we are one of the next significant players for growth in a portfolio that you might have at the speculative end. I think I'll leave it there.